Barbados partnering with a UN agency to build out the potential of promising entrepreneurs. The United Nations Global Compact Sustainable Supplier and SME program launched in Barbados. More options coming for traveling and transporting goods in the region. And in sports, the Windies win their opening T20 against South Africa.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Pearson Bowen. In a bid to maximize the potential of the underutilized capacity and innovative ideas of local entrepreneurs, Barbados is partnering with a UN agency. It's the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, or UNIDO. Officials from that organization and Export Barbados today toured the International Food Science Center at Newton Industrial Park to get a first-hand look at some operators in the food manufacturing industry. Rachel Agard was there and filed this report.
Among the innovative ideas being pursued at the center is the use of sea moss to produce pepper sauce. It's being done by a company called Landship Foods. The product and other business examples of that type of creativity and innovation are what government and UNIDO are seeking to build out. That's why Chief Executive Officer of Export Barbados, Mark Hill, is calling for an upgrade to the industry. He says Barbados is currently stuck in Industrial Revolution 2.0, but needs to go to 4.0. Mr. Hill was speaking at the International Food Science Center, where UNIDO officials, including Secretary General Gerd Muller, toured the facility.
The technologies, if you tour factories, are still pretty much heavily human-oriented, because the capital of buying the technology, purchasing technology, procuring technology, what we call 4.0 technology, upgraded automation, upgraded artificial intelligence, even using robotics. I don't think there's any factory in Barbados that uses a robot to produce anything. Not even the arms to move packaging or to even help persons with health and safety issues.
Additionally, Mr. Hill says a big investment in artificial intelligence and robotics is needed to help the country transition into a smart manufacturing space. Already, the Chinese government has gifted the center with an AI drone, which is being used to assist with the CMOS project.
We discussed that with Martin and Mr. Stein, as well as the investment that we would like to see happen with UNIDO, helping us to transition from 2.0 to 4.0 technology and platforms, which comes with clean tech applications. We've got to green the robotics, we've got to green the artificial intelligence.
Meanwhile, Mr. Muller says more private investment is needed in the agrotech sector. But he notes that Barbados has a lot of capacity, young people and tertiary institutions, and only needed to bring it all together.
I think we have to think about the economy. Young people, they need perspective, they need jobs, and therefore I think it is very important to invest in processing industry, produce your own fruit juice, drinkable water, textile, garment industry is already there.
With this type of support, more entrepreneurs are expected to enter the market with their innovative ideas. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Rachel, thank you. As the Global Supply Chain Forum continues in Barbados, the launch of a major initiative has been part of the program. Wendy Burke has been following, and she joins us now with the latest. Wendy.
Yes, Pearson. The initiative mentioned is the United Nations Global Compact Sustainable Supplier and SME program. Its launch is being seen as historic. That's because its purpose is to bridge crucial gaps to accelerate sustainability in global supply chains and future-proof small and medium-sized enterprises for the green transition. Secretary General of the UN Trade and Development, Rebecca Greenspan, says it will ensure no business, regardless of size, is left behind in the pursuit of progress. practices. She is confident the region, given its entrepreneurial spirit, is uniquely positioned to lead the way in sustainable supply chain practices and the Blue Economy Initiative.
These programs will catalyze the region's transition towards a sustainable blue economy, harnessing the vast potential of its marine resources while protecting its fragile ecosystems. By investing in sustainable fishing practices, responsible tourism, and innovative technologies, we can ensure that the Caribbean's blue economy serves as a model for the world, creating jobs, boosting economic growth, and safeguarding our planet for future generations.
UN Resident Coordinator for Barbados in the Eastern Caribbean, Didier Trebek, says the program is tailor-made for the Caribbean and will add value to the region's business model.
We really look forward to seeing many more Caribbean businesses in this new Global Compact network so that they benefit from sustainable practices, as this can have really a great positive impact within as well outside of businesses. And let's not forget that this initiative was born in Barbados, is rooted in Barbados, and that's why we want to have more businesses from the Caribbean as well as from Barbados. Because we know that when companies embed sustainability into their strategy and operation, it will not only increase profitability and competitiveness, or yield higher business valuation or lower cost of capital, but it will also enhance brand recognition.
Now, during a panel discussion that followed the launch, fears were raised about the region not meeting its energy transition goals if countries are not integrated into the global supply chain. The concern came from Minister of Energy and Business, Senator Lisa Cummings, who says calls have been made for the international community to work more closely with small countries like Barbados. She says pooled procurement for issues relating to energy will facilitate the transition.
If we cannot procure energy supplies to be able to facilitate our transition, if our small and medium-sized enterprises are just being kicked to the back of the queue because they're simply too small and the scale is not efficient, we will not meet our development goals. And it is through initiatives like these here tonight and the work being done by partners like yourselves every day that will allow us to be able to meet those goals.
CEO of CG United Insurance, Rand Graham, says while solutions are sought to challenges brought by climate change, the private sector should not be left behind.
We formed and transformed behaviors over time when we are investing by such things as sending out for RFPs for proposals to build. And our criteria for decision as to who wins the RFP is based on lowest price and best quality. Companies in the private sector must now add sustainable development initiatives into that criteria so that if people want to win the contract, yes, you have to have quality and you have to have price, but you have to tell us where are you sourcing your materials from? Is it from a sustainable source? You know, that now comes into the criteria.
We also heard at the forum that Barbados will soon be home to more United Nations agencies. The announcement was made by Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kerry Simmons. The International Organization for Migration, which set up its coordination office for the Caribbean and IOM mission to Barbados last year, is the most recent UN body to have an office here. Minister Simmons says Barbados is moving to broaden its diplomatic footprint with the UN.
Only yesterday, I had the privilege of signing on the agreement with UNIDO so that we are now going to house in the Industrial Development Organization of the UN. And I want to say to you that I secured the imprimatur and the blessing of the Cabinet of Barbados so that UN Habitat will shortly be here, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year.
The Global Supply Chain Forum is expected to wrap up tomorrow. Pearson?
Wendy, thank you. We will take a break here, but efforts being made to beef up measures to combat predial larceny. Agriculture Minister Indar Ware intends to meet with the top brass of the Barbados Police Service in a bid to tighten measures to deal with predial larceny. This, he says, will be another step to strengthen the system following recent legislative changes that increased the penalties for crop thieves to between $10,000 and $100,000.
I've committed to meeting with the Commissioner of Police. I know they're busy. We've got quite a bit going on right now. We got Cricket World Cup coming up. And I have to find a way to carve out a space to be able to sit with them so we can examine the receipt system, bill of lading, farmer's ID, the approach we're taking to it, the facility where if items are confiscated, where they're going to be stored, the entire thing.
And even as officials plan to meet, the Agriculture Minister stresses that the general public has a role to play to stamp out predial larceny.
Will you now still continue to buy your mangoes from alongside the road without first asking a question? Do you have a receipt to show me that you actually purchased these mangoes? Or do you have any proof that you are a farmer? So show me your license and let me know where your farm is located, and you should have a bill of lading that shows that you harvested these crops. That is where Barbadians now have to get. I'm not foisting anything upon anyone, but if we're going to express our alarm or concern about the level of crop theft that is taking place in Barbados, we can't turn a blind eye to what is happening.
A Barbadian has been selected to serve as the acting Deputy Police Commissioner of Montserrat. He is Wade Chase, a Chief Inspector from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. He took the office in the presence of Governor Sarah Tucker. Mr. Chase, a past student of the Dighton Griffith School, will serve as Deputy Commissioner for the next month to support the Montserrat Police. On the 18th of May, Mark Payne, a former UK commander of West Midlands Region Counter-Terrorism Unit, was sworn in as Acting Commissioner of Police. He is expected to serve in that position for the next few months. Calypsonian Darcy Ras Eiley Small promises an encore performance when fans attend his year's installation of Ras Eiley and Friends on Saturday night. He was speaking during a press conference and site visit for the upcoming event, which takes place at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. Patrons can expect to be serenaded by a regional cast of Calypsonians, with local acts like the Mighty Griner, the Mighty Gabby, Red Plastic Bag, Pompey and Mac Fingal. Overseas acts include Trinidadian Crazy, Sugar Aloes, Baron, Gypsy, Super Blue and Sherwin Winchester, to name a few. CBC is a sponsor of the show. The veteran Calypsonian says there's a crisis throughout the Caribbean where it appears no one remembers those who created vintage soca. He hosted his first Ras Eiley and Friends event last year and says this year's show is to remind those around the greats about the greats within the industry.
In most cases, the younger people come in, /DJs, etc., and don't create a mix of the older guard with the new wave artists. So a lot of the younger artists that are coming now can't really tell you much about the people that really paved the way.
Ras Eiley says the airwaves now sound refreshed with the songs of yesteryear, and memories are relived for those who feel neglected and forgotten. And he intends to honor Mac Fingal, Red Plastic Bag and the Mighty Gabby, similar to the honor bestowed upon the late Trinidadian Calypsonian Black Stallion at last year's show.
All three of these men have been instrumental in my career in terms of Mac being the mentor, Bag and Gabby being my songwriters, and helping to mold me into the entertainer I am, an artist today.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
That's right, it's time for Sports Night, and tonight we're joined by Damien Best. Damien.
Good evening to you, Pearson. Well, Oman continued their impressive warm-up campaign for the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup with a 5-wicket victory over UWI at the 3Ws Oval today. In a low-scoring affair, UWI were bowled out for a subpar 99 runs, with Shakir Paris top scoring with 38. Kaylee Mullah was the pick of the bowlers for Oman with figures of 3 for 14. CBC's Amory Burt takes a look at that innings.
Oman gave their bowlers the first go at it, and without a single run on the board, the first wicket was taken. From the second ball of the innings, Kyle Jordan was bowled by Kamamula for a duck. Mario Richards brought some light early to the UWA innings with the first boundary of the game. It raced away for 4. Richards would lose his wicket shortly after. This time it connects the bat, but it's skied and Ian Khan gets under it. UWA at this point struggling on 7 for 2. Demel Evening was not at the crease and he got a 4 to his name. But like the others before him, he would give out his hand into the gloves of wicketkeeper Parthik Athavale. Still a dismal score of 11 for 3. Shakir Paris came to steady a sinking UWA ship and he set to task by adding 4 more to the score. Very next ball and it was edged away as things seemed now to be looking up. Paris was beating ball. This one was well timed and placed. He wasn't done yet. The runs were racking up on his part and for his UWA team. And here comes the first maximum of the game. High, hard and drops over the rope. At the other end, the wickets kept falling, though Jonathan Carter's ball by Mohammed Nadeem for 6. The score is 54 for 4. Paris's reign would then come to an end when he was given LBW to Khan. His contribution was 36. UWA now 60 for 5. Wicket number 6 was that of Kyle Corbin, caught out the crease to be stumped. The score is 70. 9 of those runs came from Corbin. Amari Goodrich announced his presence in a big way, gone for 6. But looking to impress in the same way, Goodrich fell short this time, guided into the hands of Kashyap Prajapati. UWA 77 for 7. 1 run added and another wicket goes. Joshua Bishop is LBW to Zishan Maksud for a duck. It's 78 for 8. More trouble for the homeboys as Johan Lane made a sprint for it but could not beat the throw-in and his run out. UWA really struggling at this time. Can't reach that 100 mark. They're 88 for 9. And the innings would close with Mario Graves hitting right into the hands of Prajapati. UWA all out for 99 in 19 overs, setting the visiting Oman team 100 to win. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. In reply, Oman ended on 101 for 5. Shoaib Khan top scored with 33, while Kashyap Prajapati added 30. Johan Lane, he took 2 for 7, and Joshua Bishop 2 for 15.
The Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Business now. The Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated has been meeting with key partners at the ongoing Caribbean Travel Marketplace in Jamaica. The meetings were held to discuss plans for the upcoming winter season. The BTMI says the marketplace is perfectly timed for its partners to strategize as holidaymakers start contemplating their winter travel. Caribbean Travel Marketplace is being attended by a host of government and private sector industry leaders, including ministers of tourism and ports representatives. Well, the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, meanwhile, is reporting the U.S. market has grown significantly for the entire region. There have been increases from the United Kingdom, Canada, and Europe as well. President Nicola Madden-Gregg says efforts are ongoing to sustain growth in the Latin American market.
We still have a lot more to get out of that market because we're just scratching the surface. And I think we have a great set of journalists here from Latin America. We also have a lot of tour operators. We brought in a contingent from Latin America this year, just again to cement that growth there. And with some of the airlift that we're having now within the region, we feel that it will be easier for persons to come, through the Panama hub and be able to really get through the region.
Ms. Madden-Gregg is also pleased with the increased airlift in the Caribbean.
We now have direct lift between Jamaica and Dom Rep. We have direct lift between Barbados and Jamaica. Of course, we're seeing more lift that is coming into the market. Inter-Caribbean is doing a lot, Caribbean Airlines and Arajet. So we're definitely seeing that growth. So they're taking on the challenge and answering the call, and we're very excited for that.
Barbadians and Caribbean people could soon have additional options for traveling and transporting goods as Caribbean Airlines gears up to expand its services. CEO Gavin Madeira gave insight into the plans and possibilities during one of the morning sessions of the ongoing UNCTAD Global Supply Trade Forum at the Lord Erskine Sandiford Centre.
We have a significant fleet expansion plan underway, and you'll see that coming to bear in 2025, 2026. But ultimately, we also look at international destinations, connecting people to and from the Caribbean. And this is also in the form of cargo services. As you see on the left, we have our main cargo services coming out of Miami and connecting to those Caribbean markets. We've also launched last year a jetpack door-to-door courier service. So it's our clear intention to expand that. We launched Jamaica and Guyana later this year. And that courier service will be expanded throughout the region, ultimately providing a logistics transport service amongst all the Caribbean countries.
He's back with more sports. Damien.
Thanks so much, Pearson. Well, the Olympic dream is over for Barbadian boxer Jabali Brady. 27-year-old Brady has suffered a shoulder injury in training on the eve of the second and final World Boxing Qualification Tournament slated for Thailand this weekend. The southpaw, considered the best male amateur boxer on the island, had lost in the round of 64 in the first qualifier in Italy. It means Barbados' chances of qualifying for the Olympics in the sport of boxing will rest on the shoulders of Charles Cox and Kimberly Gittins, both of whom have traveled to the Asian country. 30-year-old Cox is scheduled to be in the ring against Andrei Adron of Romania on Saturday in the men's 80-kilogram bout, while Gittins will battle Herge Bakaran of the Philippines in the women's 75 kg section. Barbados' national men's rugby team have won their first international test match under lights at the Garrison Savannah with an 80-0 thrashing of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's a look at some of the action.
Barbados successful, 3 points to Barbados. Well collected, driving more. Here we go. Here we go. Controlling it. Barbados controlling it, still moving forward. And the try for Barbados.
Oh, no ball handling, but it goes back. Ball is still with Barbados. They know it's St. Vincent's 22. Nice long pass.
Try Barbados.
Ball 3 hands again.
Oh, and he's through.
There goes the number 30 for Barbados. Over the try line once again. Vincent is actually holding him up. No, the Barbados
Okay, they're going for a pushover try. Ball's out.
Ball's out. Will there be a try in the corner? Try for Barbados.
Well, that's our time tonight. Thank you for spending it with us. I'm Pearson Bowen. For the crew, to all of you, good night. By God's will, we'll see you tomorrow.